Ida B, Chapter 12. After Daddy left, I was hurting something terrible. Like every single part of me was cut and torn up, but my heart hurt the most. I couldn't do anything except curl up like a ball on the floor of the barn and lie there, crying. The kind of tears that burn your eyes, and the sort of sobs that make your chest ache so that you're sure it's going to bust open. And when the sobs finally ran out, the tears kept coming. So I lay there with my mouth wide open, but I hardly made a sound, just air going into me and a heavy wind full of sorrow coming out. But as I cried, my heart was being transformed. It was getting smaller and smaller in my chest and hardening up like a rock. The smaller and harder my heart got, the less I cried, until finally I stopped completely. By the time I was finished, my heart was a sharp black stone that was small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. It was so hard, nobody could break it, and so sharp it would hurt anybody who touched it. I stayed there, staring ahead at nothing, with just about nothing left inside of me for quite a bit. And then my new heart came up with a resolution. Because when your heart changes, you change, and you have to make new plans. This resolution was for the new me, the new Ida B. All right, Daddy, I thought. I'll do what you say. I'll go back to Ernest B. Lawson Elementary School, but I won't like it. I won't like the people who buy the land. And I won't like my teacher or my kids in my class or the ride on the bus. And I won't like you or Mama either. I decided I would do whatever I had to, just shy of death and dismemberment, to fight the craziness that had taken over my family and was invading my valley. I'd come up with a plan, and they'd be sorry, every single one of them, that they had to reckon with Ida B. I could feel the hardness of my heart spreading into my arms and my legs and my head, and it felt fine. I would win. That night, I went up to the mountain and stood in front of the bare old white tree. Thank you so much for your kind words of wisdom the other day, I said, sticky sweet like corn syrup. I really took them to heart, I must say. Yep, I went on like honey and brown sugar and molasses mixed together. I have to tell you, I was feeling much better after our little chat. I even expected great and wonderful things, thanks to your reassurance. I stood there smiling for a minute, giving the tree a chance to believe what I was saying. Then I yelled, "You stupid old tree!" And I kicked its trunk as hard as I could, so my foot ached something fierce. But I didn't even whimper. I limped back down the mountain and went to bed without saying goodnight to anyone. And that was the end of me listening to anybody or anything other than myself and my new heart for a long time.